Hi, Patrick Nugent with IICLE TV. Workers' compensation laws in the state of Illinois. Boy, are they changing, and I am very fortunate to be with two fantastic friends and also people that are instrumental in the world of workers' compensation and practice here in Illinois. Arnie Rubin and my good friend and partner, Mr. Lou Cohn. Gentlemen, we're doing a course starting on the 29th. Vehicles leading the way in workers' compensation changes. I know, Arnie, you're on both our course on the 29th, and then I know you're also going to follow up and do a course for us both in Champaign and in Chicago in September.
That's correct.
And, you know, Arnie Rubin, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, he's got his own practice. He was the past president of the Workers' Compensation Lawyers Association, as well as sitting on their board of directors. I know you're going to be dealing with medical issues from the petitioner standpoint on these new medical issues. And my first question to you is, can you give us one or two things that are really going to change in terms of what's going on from that point of view with the new laws?
That is a very easy question to respond to. There are many, many changes that are going to affect the workers' compensation practice as a result of this legislation. And I might just add, the biggest change in the workers' compensation law since I've been practicing, and I started in 1978, and I would say these are the most drastic changes since the Act was thoroughly amended back in 1975. Having said that, for my part of the seminar, which is going to focus on medical issues, I can tell you two things, just specifically utilization review, big changes on that. Then with regard to the medical fee schedule, there are big changes on that. Some people have minimized what those changes are. Let me talk about the medical fee schedule first. That is a topic near and dear to me on how it impacts from the petitioner's point of view. From the petitioner's point of view, we need to know what the charges are from the doctor, what charges are accepted by the employer that are going to be paid, and then what's in dispute. Is the bill from the doctor being paid under the fee schedule? Now, effective with this amendment that was from the act that was passed June 28, 2011, effective September 1, 2011, a brand new fee schedule is going into effect. The most drastic impact of the fee schedule is there's going to be a 30% reduction as to the medical charges that were allowed by the medical provider. Practically speaking, orthopedic surgeon submits a bill for the prior fee schedule that was $1,000. You got that amount is now going to drop down by 30%. Interesting question, though, from my point of view representing petitioners. What is the effective date of the statute as it relates to the date of accident? What I specifically mean is this. Does the effective date of the statute, September 1, 2011, for the new fee schedule, apply to cases that occurred where the date of accident was prior to September 1, 2011? I submit to the practice. It's not an easy yes or no answer. I refer you to a case, an appellate court case called Tower Automotive, which is a case that may be used to decide whether or not the medical fee schedule is going to have retroactive effect for treatment that occurs after September 1, 2011, but for accidents that occurred before September 1, 2011. That's going to be a big issue. It's going to cover, I can imagine, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars in terms of medical treatment for this short period of time that we're talking about.
Arnie, could I just throw in your feelings about AMA guidelines? I mean, I know they're probably pretty.
Go ahead.
I assume they're not very much, but.
Do we have another half hour? Well, the AMA guidelines, to me, having those now codified and they're in the Act, to me, that was something that I thought about in the practice and fought against in the practice my whole career. So to me, having the AMA guidelines in the Act is equivalent to thunder, lightning, a storm that floods the whole United States. I mean, it is
it's just like the debt ceiling.
It's a cataclysmic change. it changes everything in terms of our practice. Just one comment on the AMA guidelines. My reading of the Act is you must submit into evidence in a nature and extent case some report from a physician qualified in, I believe, in the medical art. So basically, any physician.
In any phase of the medical
right.
practice.
A physician must provide a report as to what the particular assessment is of the injury of the injured worker under the guidelines. Some percentage of impairment. Now, I don't see in the Act something that says that the person or the doctor must be certified. My understanding is there's a course. I went on the internet just to see, and other states offer a course to teach AMA guidelines for approximately $900.
Yeah.
So I assume we're now going to see physicians that go and take the course and obtain the certification.
So I guess we should start teaching the course on certification for the doctors too, right?
I would think that'd be a very important process here.
And one observation on the guidelines, which is something I learned over the weekend, apparently, and this is anecdotal, but what I've learned is that in other states, the AMA guidelines are not so certain that each doctor, if they apply them, will come up with the same percentage. So there is a variance within the guidelines, which was something I just learned.
Well, with that understatement, of the significance,
imagine our surprise that it's not going to just be black and white, right? I think one of the great things, though, is I know that you and Lou have worked very hard to make sure that we've got both of these sides represented in any type of educational format that we're trying to bring up with workers' comp, both in this course on the 29th of August or on the 29th of July, and then also the two courses that we're going to do in September as we try to get more specifically involved in what those laws are.
I think that's a very important point, Patrick, the uniqueness of the IICLE programs. Arnie and I know that even before June 28th, when Governor Quinn signed the amendments into Public Law 9718, there were individuals taking positions in blogs, on the web, even in a seminar or so, but always from one point of view, either petitioner or respondent. IICLE is not only thrilled to have the panel we have, but the 6 lawyers that are going to be speaking are paired up, and each segment, one of the parties is a petitioner's representative, one a respondent's, and so even though the views might not necessarily be the same or in conflict, I'll be there to referee. We're going to present to our audience a non-biased viewpoint of what these changes mean, what their significance is, and what a wonderful group of people. As Arnie knows, 2 of those people were just appointed by the governor to sit on the Workers' Compensation Advisory Board, Mr. Alexi and Mr. Lowry. So we're really pleased, and I know the audience will be too.
And significantly with Rich Alexi and with Bill Lowry, you have a petitioner's attorney, Rich Alexi, and you have a respondent's attorney, Bill Lowry.
Absolutely.
So equal representation. It's great. And I think that's what makes this seminar different than previous seminars that have been presented on the legislation and future seminars that will be presented on the legislation. That it's a seminar that really focuses in a way on 3 major areas of changes rather than just giving a hodgepodge of changes in the bill.
Well, the other thing which I think we're very proud of is the fact that you and Lou and Rich and several other people have worked so hard to actually bring these new laws to light so quickly for the lawyers in Illinois. These laws are just changing and being enacted now, and I think we're really at the forefront of the educational process to try to let the lawyers in Illinois know how this is going to affect their business from both sides of the fence. So kudos to all of your hard work for ICL in doing that and making that work. It is the goal of IICLE to maintain the highest standard of practice guidance for the lawyers in Illinois that is possible. And without fantastic faculty like you and Lou, we wouldn't be able to do that. So we're certainly fortunate there. You know, gentlemen, I want to thank you both for just being here with me today.
Thank you,
and for
Patrick.
spending some time with us on
Thank
ICL
you very
Television.
much.
And for all of you out there that are going to be forced to understand these new laws, we hope we've been of some